Fandom. Let's
the
go.
premiere show.
Yeah, it's our staple.
Yeah, great shit. We've alluded to it. We had some great rookie teams show up. We had some.
I listen, man. I don't know if the rookie teams are just the ones that won are just really, really good, or the ones that they beat just weren't super prepared.
I think it's a mix.
Combination of both, for sure. Full transparency, Popcorn Prodigies and Vettel Amir Tom they're all my friends. I got to play. Who I've told about this thing, and they've kind of been like, "Oh, I know some stuff, not everything, but sure." And I forgot to tell them like how the game works. To be fair, I would have thought they would have like watched an episode or two, but I don't think they did. Now they have, so they're ready for their second match. But their first one, you could see how it went.
Fun fact: the first match I edited this season was Real Breakdown versus Popcorn Prodigies. It's the first match we shot. It is the first one that I edited for the season. So all of the graphics and all of the stuff that you've been seeing that we've updated for the new channel and everything, that match was the testing ground. So now every time I open Filmora Share or whatever, Wonder Share, and I start throwing in my templates and stuff, it says Real Breakdown and Popcorn Prodigies, and the question format is whatever the first question of that match was. So every time I log in, that's what I see is Real Breakdown and Popcorn Prodigies, which, by the way, great names.
I agree 100%.
Popcorn Prodigies especially, I like that one quite a bit.
Yeah, and Giancarlo is from the Dominican Republic, and he speaks Spanish, as you might know if you watched Virtual Survivor Season 1. And him and Liam really don't like this guy named Tom.
Yeah.
Not related to anything.
No.
That's just completely separate. So I said, you guys need to name your team. And they were like, let's name it Eat Shit, Tom. And I was like, and Giancarlo was like, what if we said it in Spanish? I was like, okay, sure, better.
What are your thoughts on the Born Who Lived?
I don't.
Born related puns.
I don't love it, but respect to the player because I love both the players. And this was our fully like returning rookie match. Like all the players were returning players. And no ticket to NetherRealm seems scary,
disgusting.
Not just like for a rookie team, like they killed it. Because they did it against experienced players.
Yeah,
which is scary.
Brandon and Nick are good. Like
they are. And Born Who Lived is better than the other Born theme team name, even though I like those people.
Well. You're saying the name or them as a team in general?
The name.
The name. I would agree.
But also like the Boys Who Lived, like that could have been fun. Like sometimes people just overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dean. I knew you were watching. It's all right. I was on a team with Kaiser and Igor, and I've lost all credibility in commenting on other people's team names. So
yeah, that's fair. Okay, so debuts, exciting shit, but many other things happened. What do you want to talk about, Nick?
Dude,
controversy, not controversy.
We'll get to controversy. Let's start with some of the lower matches. They're either matches that are building towards a future title picture or like matches designed to get lower ranked players to improve their record or make it worse. Mm-hmm. So, for example, Anthony Tisdall versus Brian Nussbaum. Good match. I thought Anthony looked scared. Like, I don't recognize Anthony Tisdall anymore. It's weird.
He's good.
Honestly, because of that performance, he's now in the 5-way play-in for the summer tournament that we do. Like, you'll see. Which, by the way, Fanzone rankings, schedule, records, all updated on the website, tbntinc.com. Go check it out now. Same with Fandom. You can follow with what we're about to talk about. Oh, my God. Dean versus Joseph, the first match. It was billed as sort of like Rookie of the Year versus the Comeback Player of the Year. Both had killer seasons last season. It seemed like they should have been even, and holy crap, they were. Dean won with 76% accuracy to Joseph's 74 by 3 points. Crazy match.
Crazy.
And why am I here? Yeah, 100%. He will say that. And I'll be like, because you're scoring 90% in the matches you play. Bill, other people are doing the same. Bill played Payson. That'll play into a picture in the future. So will Dean versus Joseph. Igor played Eric Moreno. Great match there. 10% difference, 5 points. That will also play into Act 2. And where's the last one I'm going to find you? Antonio. Antonio played Eli McKegg. Eli had a rough game, but Antonio was looking really, really strong.
As we saw in his team's match, too. Like, yeah.
Yeah, dude, Antonio's looking scary this year. Keep an eye out for Antonio.
Okay. We've beat around the bush long enough. I want to talk about this controversy.
Teams or singles? I guess it's more controversial in singles.
David beat both of us in teams.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I got you.
This is huge.
Alex,
Joe can't do it, but David did.
Alex
this
also did.
Huge.
Alex helped. Alex was there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Alex played better in at least one of the matches that
those matches were super fun.
They were a great time. It's very weird playing again and putting myself in title pictures and Tim in title pictures. So I'm trying to do it as fair as possible. So we played Escape from Melee. Tim played David and Alex. And yeah, David and Alex are looking great. Fun fact for you. You and Tyler scored higher than they did. You had 81%, they had 74%. You outplayed them, but it's such a great match. They come back all the way at the end to stop the rematch from happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it sucks to be on the side that you're on, but it's a great match.
From while it was happening, because we shot that at like 9 a.m. for us, while it was happening, I wanted to die. I was very upset. But afterwards, I was like, no, this is great. This is so much fun. And Cabin 66, like you said, I love those guys. Alex and David are great. I love seeing them as a team. Like I obviously love Rookie Mistake, but I don't know. There's something about Posse Galore and Cabin 66. Like the separation of Joe and David has set them free. And I love it. I love it.
Yeah, set them free from something they were just in for a long time. So it's
no, that's what I mean. Yeah, not from each other.
Like, so that little mini bracket thing there ended with Cabin 66 winning. They went on to play Posse Galore again. Posse Galore won. Their contender was supposed to be the winner of Wrong Side of the River and Young Justice because those two teams won their match at the end of last year. Wrong Side of the River beat Manhattan Project. Young Justice beat Some Assembly Required. Young Justice beat Wrong Side of the River. That match was annulled. For those of you wondering how cheating affects teams, you might have listened to our thing about Robert earlier and been like, okay, but like, why is Arkham Knights still listed as the team's champion?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Because, hello, my love. Because, we can't, unless you can prove it within a match, it's not fair to penalize the team partner that didn't necessarily know what was going on. So to say that Tim is no longer a team's champion with that team is not fair to me. To say that Javi is no longer successful in all the things he did with Young Justice is not fair to me.
Well, and to all
other examples of people who have been removed, other examples of people who are on championship teams who have been removed from singles, and those championship teams are still there because the other player in that team is not necessarily guilty for the sins of the person who committed them. If that makes sense, which is the simplest way we can describe it. If you can prove that they cheated in a match you were in. So for example, like Wrong Side of the River's loss has been taken away because we watched that match and we saw it all.
It's crazy.
Saw the stuff happen. So
I believe your exact words were Wowee, the amount of cheating in that match.
That was in the contender match.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was.
There's a lot in that, but there is some in the one before that as well. So, taken away from Wrong Side of the River. At the time, we didn't know what was going on, so Young Justice went to play in a contender match. Posse Galore won, even though, wowee, all the stuff that was happening there makes it all the more impressive for Posse Galore. But they won, challenged Duel of the Fates for the second time. Hello?
Duel of the Fates won the match.
They did.
Great match.
Agreed.
It was one of those matches where oh, hey. Yeah, there were some misses in there that I think Joe and Igor won't let happen again.
Yeah.
Like, they made some mistakes that I think they recognize, they've got it figured out, and we're gonna see them again.
And Joe said it in the promo, dude. Like, Duel of the Fates, you're playing relaxed champions who have nothing to lose. They have proved absolutely everything with probably the top three. Them two individually are probably two of the top three people with just the most base knowledge right now.
Yeah.
And they're chilling. There's no pressure. They're pulling, like, it's going to be very difficult to beat them.
I remember Brittany missed the first question, and then on question 2, she hits and she goes, I was worried after that first question. I'm like, shut up. I love Brittany. She's the best. Yeah. But I was like, I love it when, like, the same thing happened with the double match against Joe last year, where like where match 2 starts, she misses the first one and she's like, fuck, it's over. And she ends up like knocking him out. Like, it's crazy. Anyway,
so that was teams. Singles, more controversy.
No.
Fun fact, this singles picture was supposed to be Tyler versus Javi.
Oh yeah. Whoops.
That contender match that we pushed off from Act 4 of last year when we needed to fill the belt. Supposed to be Tyler versus Javi against either Robert or like whoever else won the WOT tournament. Or even if Tyler just lost to Robert, then it would have been Tyler versus Javi again. Tyler won, so I was like, Tyler, we're taking away your contender match that you earned. We feel as though you've far exceeded what we owe you. So we had to come up with something new. So we took the 4 people from WOT who were still actively playing. So that excludes Scully. Scully retired. And that excluded Javi because Javi already had the contender match. So we had to find out who would be playing Javi. That left the 4 people, and then minus Tyler, because Tyler won WOT. That left the 4 people, Rue, Jacoby, Ryan, and Holtzman. Jacoby beat Ryan. Great match. Nothing shady about that. Very, very good match. Jacoby's on fire. Jacoby was the last one. Oh, we didn't even talk about last one standing. Holy crap.
No. Yeah.
No, we did. Didn't we do a Q&A after, and we kind of talked about it?
Did we?
Last one standing happened. Joe won again. Absolutely killed it. Neck and neck with Rue till the very end. Jacoby surprised everyone, became the MVP. Is carrying that on this year in the way he played with Wrong Side of the River and the way he played against Ryan and Holtzman. Holtzman beat Rue. We were very shocked at the time. I'm going to stop harping on it, but like, you all know what happened. We had to annul that match. When I say annul, that means the stats and everything still counted for the player that lost, but the loss is removed. So it's annulled. Jacoby played Holtzman. That match is annulled as well. Holtzman played Javi. That match is annulled as well. Everything happened. We found out. We said, think on our feet. We need it. We need a challenger. We don't want to end Act 1 without a challenger. So we got the 3 people that had just lost. We got Javi, we got Rue, we got Jacoby. Took all the losses off their record, threw them in a number 1 contender match, gave them 3 days to shoot it. Props to them. Props to Rue for knocking out 2 people at once with 3 days preparation. Genuinely thought this would be the time that Rue took the belt.
Yeah.
Didn't expect Tyler to be that ferocious. And yes, Rue, I know you're you're hard on you're hard on yourself, and you're going to take away like, oh, I lost every title match I had. You're the only one who had title challenges, other than teams, obviously. But like, you outplayed every single person in the league you're playing in this Act 1, except for the one person that beat you. Like, to me, that's pretty good. To me, you're the MVP of Act 1. And I'm sure you'll be back there in both. You'll definitely be back there in Fanzone. You've already earned the shot. Yeah, you're the only person to knock out 2 people twice in 2 different ways. It's crazy. And I'm sure you'll be back there for Fandom as well. With that being said, Rue won. Rue challenged Tyler. Tyler proved he's not going down easy. Tyler proved he is just as much of an unstoppable force as the champions before him.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very difficult to beat Tyler this year.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great act. Phenomenal stuff. But I think as exciting as Act 1 was for Fandom, the future looks bright at Monsters and TBNT Inc. And very excited for Act 2 and Act 3, maybe?
Yeah, a little bit of Act 3, but let's start with Act 2. Act 2 schedule on the website right now. You can go click on it. You can go look at it. You'll notice the name of Act 2 is not there because we are about to reveal it right now. Act 2, Rue fulfilled an old promise of getting back to the titles. Posse Galore fulfilled their old promise of making it back to the title. Now it's time we enter A Strange World.
Oh my God, phenomenal film.
That's where we would have queued a clip if we made one, but we didn't want to. Act 2, Strange World. That's what it's called. Fandom Frenzy is happening early this year. It's happening in Act 2. That will be your team's picture for Act 2, is the Fandom Team's Frenzy. And in honor of the moment of the year from last year, the whole act is called Strange World. It's strange. We have 4 debut singles matches, all new faces for the most part. Actually, no, all new faces, like people who have not played in this league before, in teams or in any.
What?
And I dropped everything out of the fridge.
Oh, we did not hear it.
Well, it was very loud over here.
Oh, you just stopped talking. I'm like, what's going on?
All new people. It's fun. Not to tie it any more to Strange World, other than Frenzy's happening.
Yes,
and last year's Frenzy,
Strange
World moment is great. It's gonna be fun. So, Fandom Team's Frenzy, that's the team's title. Or yeah, that's the team's picture. There'll be some other teams matches, some that will play. Actually, they'll all play into the Act 3 team's title picture. Some of the, or not all, some are less high caliber. We're going to start off with Malachi Cargo versus Blockbuster Video.
Great stuff.
Just to get our heart rates pumping.
Make sure we're still breathing.
Them Damn Enchiladas is going to play Hit It and Quidditch. Fun fact, we've already shot the majority of this act. They're all great. Every single singles debut match is awesome.
Yeah, I would agree.
They're not all great, like they're not all fantastic shows of like trivia knowledge, but they're all just great like head-to-head matches.
Yeah, no, I concur.
Yeah, genuinely check them out. Matt, who's been commenting, part of Real Breakdown. Matt and Nick, both halves of Real Breakdown, are playing. Daniel and Josh, both halves of Underminers, are playing each other. Because fun fact, when they signed up, they were like, "Any chance we could play each other?" And I was like, "Sure."
Yeah, why not?
Giancarlo, half of Vete La Mierda, Tom is in, and then some new names: Spencer Redford, Sky Hodge, Mark Pover are joining the ring as well. It's going to be fun. There's some surprises in there for sure. Huge surprises in there. Outside of that, you have some singles matches that don't necessarily play into the picture for Act 2, maybe for Act 3. Kaiser will play Will. The winner of that will fill the last spot in the 5-way, which, as you can see, comes from matches that happened in Act 1. So Jack Pinchuk, Zadius Smith, Alex Martinez, and Anthony Tisdall have already earned their spots. Kaiser versus will be the last one. Pinheads versus Some Assembly Required. That'll play into Act 3. Flirkin' Shit Up versus, so the rookie teams who won will be back. Flirkin' Shit Up who's back, by the way. Flurry Shit Up took last year off. This is their return. Jay and Ryan are going up against No Ticket to Netherrealm. Real Breakdown is going to play We're Mary Poppins, y'all. The Underminers are going to play Escape from Melee. That's all going to play into Act 3 pictures because, again, Act 2 is the Phantom Team's Frenzy. And other teams matches. Welcome to Phantom Bitch for Silver and Gold is going to happen.
It's cursed.
It's cursed. We haven't shot it yet. It was supposed to be one of the first matches we released. Schedules have not worked out. When you have Australians and it's not even that
hasn't even been in. It's been
honestly no. It's just been scheduling issues and people are busy and stuff like that. So we're trying to make it happen. We have to squeeze it at the end, and we'll see if we can get it shot. Hopefully we will, because I'm actually excited for that. But Rule of Two returns against the Born Identity, who returns. And that's all the teams matches that are happening. And then obviously you'll have the team's contender from whoever wins the Frenzy. Anything about teams?
Nick.
Tim.
You keep teasing Act 3.
No.
What's so exciting?
We're going to get singles first. Considering nothing I just said sets up the next thing at all.
I don't want. Okay, fine, I guess.
Okay, great. Singles title picture. Super simple in Act 2, and I'm very excited for it because it's 4 people who've never challenged for the belt.
It's great.
4 people who won in Act 1. You're going to have Antonio Chavez going up against Igor Kosick, and you're going to have a rematch of Dean Manis versus Payson Johnson. Payson Johnson surprised the hell out of us in Act 1 because originally it was not him in this picture, but then he beat Bill, and then we looked at the rankings and said, holy shit, Payson is ranked very high, and he's on like a 3-game winning streak at that point, I think. So we were like, maybe Payson should be in this, so we swapped him out for the lowest ranked person that was in it. Payson plays Dean in an awesome rematch because that was their debut. They're both in very different places now. I'm excited to see how that goes. And Igor and Antonio are to me like just nipping at that like top tier contender level player. Yeah. So if one of them can get there, that's super cool as well. Winners will play. That's your contender match. Winner plays Tyler.
Nick.
There's other singles matches happening. Matthew Chen off of his retirement match will play JD Domash.
Love that guy, Matthew Chen. Great dude.
Jay Burns returns against Nazario Montenegro.
Nice. Oh. Yeah, I forgot.
He's going to play. We'll see how it goes. She's excited. She's ready. She's going to play Shelton. 2-0-2s. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Dylan Vantine's going to play Spence. Spence took last year off from singles, so this is Spence's return.
The return.
The 4 rookies who win will all play each other. So 2 rookies will be 2-0 at the end of this act. That's it. No, you're not a rookie. You played last year. Remember when you didn't win twice? Okay, you're gonna win.
Nick.
Yeah.
You keep teasing Act 3.
This has been a great show. You all have a good night, and we'll see you. Okay, fine. Act 3. We're going to tell you 2 things. We're going to tell you the name, and we're going to tell you the reason for the name.
Correct.
Stop gasping. Not going to go into the team's picture yet, specifically how it works out, especially since it could change depending on how the frenzy goes.
Yes.
Yeah. But Act 3 will be called Alpha and Omega. Again, this is where we would play the clip from Beneath the Planet of the Apes, or no, War for the Planet of the Apes, where they go, "We are the," or "We are the beginning and the end," blah blah blah.
I was thinking Bruce Almighty, but that's fair.
Fair. And part of the reason we're announcing this is because we're about to start shooting it. So the players playing in it would probably want to know what's going on. But here's what's going to happen. The reason it's called Alpha and Omega is because, obviously, as you know, it's tournament time. Summer Series tournament. Summer is when we always have the singles tournament. That is not changing, but what we're doing is changing. Instead of a 16-person, a 32-person, heck, one time we did a 27-person one.
Yeah, we did.
Good times. We are going to have an 8-person tournament. If you gasp one more time. 8-person tournament of the best of the best. That's why it's called the Alpha tournament. There's nowhere to hide. In larger tournaments, a lot of the times the higher seeds can kind of just coast through the rounds. Sometimes you get upsets, which is very exciting. Gasp. But in this, you are starting off at the quarterfinals. That is where you are starting. And it is going to be
a murderer's row.
Murderer's Row. Some names I can give you that will be in that tournament.
No,
Heck, I'll give you 2 just to whet your appetite. Goodbye, Anna. I'll give you 3 just to whet your appetite. Won't tell you the seedings, won't tell you the rankings, anything like that. Robert Kastner and David Garcia, 2 people we have not seen this year and we won't see in singles in Act 2. They will be in the Alpha tournament. Oh, I hate you. And Amaru Moses is going to be in the Alpha tournament as well. Other players, TBD. You'll see. It's going to be fun. But why Omega?
Yeah,
Alpha and Omega.
Why?
Running congruently with the Alpha tournament will be the Omega tournament. The Omega tournament, as you may guess, the Alpha, oh, this is going to sound mean. I hope it doesn't sound mean, is the best of the best. The Omega is the people who can maybe do a little bit better.
Yes.
We took the lowest ranked. There's a bit of criteria, but essentially what we are looking at is a retirement tournament. You move on in the tournament if you do not win. Ergo, you do not want to move on in the tournament. You want to exit the Omega tournament as soon as possible.
Correct.
Criteria for being in this. You have to have been playing for at least more than a year, which means rookies from last year do not qualify. You have to have your wins have to be equal to or less than half of your losses. So you have 2 and 4, 3 and 6, 2 and 8, whatever. That qualifies. And you have to, I believe, be on a losing streak. Was that the third thing? It was. You have to have lost your last match. So you can't be on a winning streak. That left us. Oh, and you have to have played at least 4 matches. Excuse me. Which, again, cut out the rookies from last year, but some other people who maybe haven't played as much. So we're going to give you the seedings for the Omega tournament right now. We're going to start at number 8. Remember, you want to be lower ranked, a higher number, because the higher ranked you are, the more likely it is you will be at the end of the tournament.
Yeah.
Number 8 is going to be Brandon Dunlap. Love Brandon, think he's great. This is just where his record has fallen to. But I genuinely see this guy as someone who can be in this tournament and eventually one day turn that record completely around and go on to better things. I think Brandon's fantastic, but he does find himself at number 8. Number 7 is going to be Brandon Cohen. Fun guy, love having him around. Knowledgeable in certain areas, not overly knowledgeable in other areas. Perhaps he will round that out. Stakes are very high in this. If you lose all the way through this tournament, you're done. That's retirement. The finals of this tournament is a retirement match. Number 6, Bridget Caldwell. Bridget has survived a retirement match already, beat Michael Campbell, but has kind of gone like 1 win, 2 losses. 1 win, 2 losses. That's kind of been her pattern. So that's why she finds herself here. Number 5, guy who's been around a long, long time, is Jim Green. Jim Green has challenged for the team's belts long, long ago. But his singles record has just fallen to below. I honestly think he's if this was like a normal tournament and we had these seeds, I would honestly think Jim is maybe most likely to win the tournament as like if it were a normal tournament. But Jim finds himself here. He's going to go up against number 4, Maria Hammond. Love Maria. Great personality. Knows some shit that other people don't know. Like, her strengths are very much weaknesses of most other people, which gives her an edge. It's just the luck that she hasn't been able to land on those strengths necessarily, which has found her in this place. So she's going to play Jim. At the number 3 seed, playing Bridget, will be Alec Miller. Alec, another guy who's been around a long time, another guy who has survived a retirement match already. Similar to Bridget, he's kind of on that like 1 win, 2 losses, 1 win, 1 loss, 1 win, 3 losses. That's kind of been his pattern.
Yeah.
So he'll play Bridget. Number 2, we have Chadwick Webb. We just talked about Chadwick in Fanzone. I think he's doing great there. I think he fully has the capability to make that comeback in Fandom as well. But at 1 and 3, Chadwick's going to be the number 2 seed. And number 1, perhaps been around the longest. Remember, number 1 seed, most likely to lose at the end. Don't know if it's actually possible, though, because this man has knockouts on his record. This man has scored double digits.
Yes, scored double digits.
In 5 ways. In fatal 5 ways.
Double digit.
And this man is Mike Hanley. Mike Hanley is the number 1 seed. At the very least, Mike, if you lose this tournament, you can say you were the number 1 seed in a tournament. But Mike Hanley comes in at number 1. This is based on ranking and based on the criteria we said. But that's the Omega tournament. It will be running at the same time as the Alpha tournament. So round 1s will all happen the same week. Round 2s, the finals, will all happen at the same time. And yeah, the loser of the Omega tournament will be retired. The winner of the Alpha tournament will have a title shot.
Beautiful. Love it.
Yes, you middle of the pack people, they're very grateful right
now. Awesome.
So, yeah,
all right.
Act 2, Strange World. Act 3, Alpha and Omega. That's the reasons why Fandom Teams Frenzy happening early this year.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because there's some exciting shit happening later in the year. I don't know. Maybe.
Always exciting.
Possible.
We've been going for a while. If any of you have any questions, throw them in right now. We'll get to them if we can. But this was great. Round 4 live. Love it. Beautiful.